What's going on, YouTube? Ledger here once again, this time at you again with some more Honkai Star Rail. And let's talk about Sparkle here. She is here. We've had a few days to play with her. She came out, well, one day since it's been. But she has been taking the community by storm. For many different reasons, of course. Her personality, all the trailers that have been dropping for her, and her gameplay. I mean, she's checking off all the boxes. So what more can you ask for, really? And listen, I'm very pleased with her, and it's to the point where I feel that I actually underestimated her. I talked her up a lot, but I do feel that she is a little bit better than I expected. But I did predict that. I actually even stated in a previous video that when Ron May came, I felt that I underestimated. I felt that she ended up being better than I expected, and I predicted that the same thing was probably going to happen with Sparkle once I was able to actually put her in application and see how much she's actually helping out. It's hard to say who's better. My personal opinion, I mean, because I have Ron May here, it's not really a fair comparison, but I might give it to Ron May, but like, I don't know. When Ron May came, she exceeded my expectations, and when Sparkle comes, well, she might do the same, all right? I'm telling you right now, she's doing a good job. She is doing a good job. Obviously, the reasons why she does it is because, I mean, her buffs are kind of on par with Bronya. She gives a whole bunch of crit damage. She gives some damage boost. She gives some attack. She advances forward. She has very good, obvious benefits. But why do I say I underestimated her? Because, well, the thing with her is that when I was thinking about how playing her, I was thinking in a sense of how you play Bronya or how you play slow Sparkle. We're trying to basically get characters to go more than once. I did realize that like maybe the best way to use her is to make her as fast as possible. And I stated that in my previous videos when I was telling people how to build her. So I didn't get that wrong or anything. But for some reason it didn't click to me that, hey, if I do that, if I get her to go as fast as possible, I don't need to give the DPS speed anymore. It didn't click. And as soon as it's like right before she came out, that's when it finally clicked. I was like, wait a second. I can change all my builds around, or at least the builds that are people who are going to be going with her that are on speed boots. So I put attack boot on Gen Yuan, which had better substats. I put attack boot on Dr. Ratio, which had better substats. It worked out very well, because the thing is what some people don't put to account too. I mean, some people probably realize it, but what people don't really say too much is that you have a small chance of getting, when you're farming relics, you have a small chance of getting speed boosts, and you have a larger chance of getting the main stat boots, where it's like attack percent or HP percent or whatever. So that means that there's a higher chance you're gonna have some better looking attack boots than speed boosts. It's just probability right there. Statistically, you're gonna have more. Just based on regular luck, just based on regular probability, you're gonna have better stats on your attack boots than your speed boots. It's just how it does. It's how it happens a lot of the time. I mean, of course, everybody's counts different. But for those people who it does work out like that, you now have that option. You now have that freedom to be able to put that on your main DPS with no type of penalty, only benefit. So I didn't really think of that, and like, something like that really makes me feel that like this is something that puts her on par with someone like Ron May, because the fact of the matter is, like, she's bringing something to the table that changes the game in a sense. You're now changing the builds of certain DPSs now that you have Sparkle. That was one thing I was really looking forward to, because in the beginning of the game I really didn't like that I was trying to put speed on every single character. DPS, speed boots. Sub DPS, speed boots. Support, speed boots. Sustain, speed boots. I needed speed boots on everybody. I think like Clara was like the only one that didn't want speed boots, and I was like, oh man. But now things are starting to get a little different now. Now my DPS doesn't need to put speed boots on anymore thanks to Sparkle, and I think that is fantastic. I love the fact that she's able to do that. Another thing I want to address real quick too is her skill point efficiency, because I've been seeing a lot of times like, oh yes, like she's +1 skill point. She's SP positive by 1 point, because she gives you 4 skill points, and then for 3 turns she takes 3 skill points, makes her +1. Now, here's the thing about that I do want to mention, that I do want people to realize too. If you're dealing with fights that aren't that long and drawn out, it doesn't necessarily work like that, because she has 3-turn ult. So on that 3rd turn, a lot of the time, she's gonna have her burst right back up, right? And now because she might get hit, she might have anything else. Maybe you might have Warhol on the team. You have one of those things. And if that's the case, then she's giving you more skill points than that. On the 3rd turn, maybe even the 2nd turn, she's giving you 4 more skill points. So sometimes, yeah, it can be 1, but and again, in long drawn out fights, it's gonna be 1. It's probably gonna be the +1 skill point. But in shorter fights, or fights where like you're strong enough to be there, she's gonna be +5. You know, she's gonna be +5. You know, and it'll just dwindle down as you go through the fight. But like it's gonna be a lot. That really just helps put a lot of stress on the team building and stuff. Because right now, like one character who is more of support, who I did call this, benefited from her, is Silverwolf. Because my Silverwolf can kind of just plant like crazy. She can do what she wants. I use her SP neutral now. She does whatever she wants, whenever she wants, and I love it. I love to do it. And the fact of the matter is that since you have, like, if you have a Silverwolf, right, and you definitely have a quantum sustainer, whether it's Fu Xuan or Lynx, and that really helps out any DPS that pairs well with Sparkle, because now you can force that element on. Now it's not just mono quantum. I use the same thing with my Dr. Ratio team. Now, no matter what, the enemy is either getting quantum or imaginary put on them, and most of the time they have one of them already. So that just makes it way easier. And when Adventurine comes out, it's going to be the same story anyway. It's still going to be the same story when it comes to Dr. Ratio, you know, or Don Hong. So it's beautiful. It's a lovely thing. Even though I don't really want to put a Silverwolf with Don Hong, but I mean you can. That's a couple things right there when it comes to just her being better than I expected. Now let's take a look over at Prydwen's tier list here. So Prydwen seems to have updated their tier list, and people have been talking about it. Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I really do, you know? So, I mean, some things haven't changed. Like, I believe Kafka and Black Swan, the situation was the same as before. I do actually understand why Kafka is in S plus and Black Swan isn't. It's because even though they go together like peanut butter and jelly, when a fire dot comes, that's on par with Black Swan, Kafka's there. When a bleed dot comes, that's on par with Black Swan, Kafka's there. So Kafka is the centerpiece. Even though right now they're much more equal, in the future it's definitely going to be Kafka that's above it. And if you had to choose one, that's why I would choose Kafka there. But this isn't about Kafka. This is about the girl right here, Sparkle. All right, and Sparkle, they have on par with Ron May. And honestly, I agree. I do think Ron May is still slightly better. The reason why is because with Ron May, the thing about Ron May is that you want her on every team. She goes good on every team. Doesn't matter what it is. Dual DPS, hyper carry, dot teams. It doesn't matter what kind of team you're building. You want her on it. She's going to make it better. And her weakness break efficiency is fantastic. I just named a bunch of the benefits that Sparkle has. I just think the simple fact that Ron May can be on any team, whereas Sparkle, you want her on a lot of teams, most teams even, but not every team. That just makes her edge out a little bit. But I can accept that they're equal, mainly because the characters that Sparkle makes better benefit from her a lot. They benefit from her a lot. Like Jin Yuan. Jin Yuan got bumped up to S tier. I believe he was an A tier before. Does it say? Change the log. Let's see. Jin Yuan got bumped up from A to S. And Mbirule got bumped up from S to S plus. You know, it's the characters that she helped out a lot. I believe Syl stayed the same. I don't think she moved at all. They would have been an icon if she did. But She did help her. She did help her out. I honestly think that Sailor probably shouldn't have been in S tier last patch, but she belongs there now. Xing Shui, same thing, same thing as Sailor right there. And it's the characters that are in S and S plus. One of them in S plus, maybe not Jing Liu, but all of them in S and S plus all pair well with Sparkle, and some of them are there because of Sparkle. And it's just, I think that's S plus tier material when it comes to amplifiers. I just think it is. I think it is S plus material when it comes to that. She's killing the game. She's killing the game. There's not really much you can say about it. I was able to test her out a little bit with Dan Heng because I don't have Dan Heng, but thank God this game has the friend system there where you can play as people's Dan Heng and stuff like that. So I was able to test it out a little bit, and it feels great. Plus we have that event going on too, so I was able to feel that a little bit, but it's great. Dr. Ratio I was using quite a bit. I was doing follow-up attacks like nobody's tomorrow. I am elation. The same thing with Jin Yuan, and it just felt so, especially with Jin Yuan. That's another thing. I kind of estimated how good it's going to be with Jin Yuan because I knew it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be something that was going to make Jin Yuan much more powerful. But playing with him, it felt so much more comfortable because with Jin Yuan, sometimes I find myself in situations where I'm trying to pick and choose who's going to get this skill point. Do I skill with Jin Yuan, or do I skill with this character, or what do I do? And I found myself in that predicament quite a bit. But now with her, I feel like I get all the benefits of having expensive skill point characters while still keeping all the benefits of having S plus skill point positive characters. And my skill points were always full with him. And yeah, I was able to get 10 stack lightning Nords every single time with Ting Yun and Sparkle by his side. It's fantastic. So I'm liking how this tier list is looking here. I don't even see anything that I really disagree with right here. I mean, Acheron might come and shake things up a little bit, but that's a whole nother story. I do think that Hua Hua and Fu Xuan are pretty equal, honestly. I do think that they're equal versus Fu Xuan just straight up being above. But, tomato, tomato, Blade, I do think is S tier. Argenti, I don't know. I don't have Argenti, so I can't really speak on that too much. But yeah, that's but Blade I do think is S tier. But yeah, otherwise everything's looking okay. And a lot of that is thanks to the girl Sparkle right here. But hey, those are my thoughts really on Sparkle. I think that she's definitely belongs in S plus. I think she's S plus tier character. I think she's better than what I thought she was going to be, but I kind of predicted that anyway. I know once you can theorize all you want before a character comes, but once they come and you can put them in the application, then that's when you'll fully understand. And I'm glad that she did not disappoint. So let me know what you guys think. Comment your thoughts down below. Did you guys get Sparkle? You plan to get Sparkle? If you guys are trying to plan and wait for the future units because there's a lot of cracked units coming, I understand. Don't let this sway you. Follow the plan. For the people who was asking me questions on the video that I had about Acheron and such, and the people who watched that video and such, don't think that I'm changing my mind on anything. All those plans and all the recommendations that I said for the specific reasons, those stay in place. But definitely comment your thoughts down below on this video right here. Like the video if you like the content I do give you, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more content like this. And without here, let you know.